you can rest assured VA is probably going to screw up most Gulf War claims. All right. I just happen to know Gulf War claims fairly well. You're going to file them the same way as far as what forms you use and all that. You need to be specific about that you're filing them as Gulf War claims if you're sure that that's the situation you're going with. I wouldn't limit yourself to Gulf War claims, though, especially you've got a lot of things that are just hard to pin down. I may start with Gulf War, but there are also now, because of the PACT Act, very express presumptions of exposure, like now that include like burn pits and things like that, that weren't really an express presumption prior to the PACT Act in the first Gulf War regs. So there's a couple of different avenues that you can throw in there to kind of beef up your typical Gulf War claim, whereas we didn't have that before. Like one thing the PACT Act did, it didn't require, it no longer requires Gulf War issues to be compensable up to a 10% rating. They just have to exist. It could be 0%. There's no timeline now for them. The PACT Act did that. If there are cancers, almost every cancer nowadays is presumptive due to Gulf War service. I'm using Gulf War globally. Gulf War I, Iraq, Afghanistan, it's all included now. But you're going to want to spell that out as how you want that considered. Doesn't mean VA is going to consider it right. Bank on them screwing it up because you just don't get it. I've seen a few people at the board get it right on occasion, but man, they're like deer in the headlights. And I hate to say that, but that's just the truth. They're complicated cases. You need somebody that knows how to argue them properly. And there are very few people out there that know that.
They're difficult.
Yeah.
I would say, when you file those, talk to your doctor and see if they can, they might be able to give you a letter saying, I couldn't diagnose anything, but he has this, and this, but it doesn't line up with a diagnosis. But I think this is an undiagnosed illness related to Gulf War. If your doctor will say that, that'll help out some.
That would help tremendously. What you're seeing a lot of VA exams is like, I cannot diagnose an undiagnosed illness.
Yeah.
And VA comes back and denies the claim, saying you have not been diagnosed with an undiagnosed illness. It feels like
I'm gonna take a deep breath and not get mad at that point.
But. Yeah. And there's case law that very clearly says you don't need a diagnosis of an undiagnosed illness. And there are things that just qualify as that. Neuralgia is nerve pain. It's just a description of nerve pain. It doesn't really provide a diagnosis. Arthralgia is a joint pain. It's not necessarily arthritis. Okay. It's just joint pain. Those things make for good undiagnosed illness claims because it's something official describing a symptom without providing a diagnosis. Now, the second they go into degenerative arthritis, that changes the whole story. But that's the undiagnosed illness side. You also have the medically unexplained chronic multi-symptom illness side, which is even more complicated. But that actually includes diagnosed conditions. If you know how to put a case like that together, we would need a couple of hours for me to give a class on that, and we're kind of out of time.